alaikum, Sayyidi.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, if everyone in the world is connected by love and one of them is in the presence of Prophet ﷺ, does this mean everyone is blessed by that presence due to the chain of love?
I didn't understand. If everyone is based on love? What was the question again?
It says, if everyone in the world is connected by love and one of them is in the presence of Prophet ﷺ, does this mean everyone is blessed by that presence due to the chain of love?
Well, if you, the philosophy stuff, but in the reality of the essence, everything is created from the light of Sayyidina Muhammad. So could anything be outside of love? No. And that's what we said, if Allah is ahad and He creates the secret of Sayyidina Muhammad as wahid, then the difference between ahad and wahid is wow. So wow and wadud is the essence that keeps everything together. Everything is created by Allah's love. There's nothing created without that love. The worst killer in the world, his atoms and his essence was created by love. What the ego and the badness of shaitan has done on the physicality has nothing to do with the essence of what Allah has created. Everything has been created in truth. Allah created nothing false. So everything is based on haqq and every essence is created by the wow, the love. The atoms stay together because of love. The electron spins because of love. No exclusion to that. So where do you find the conflict? Is in physicality, in the mulk. In this world of physicality everything's wrong. In the world of light everything in submission. So everything in the world of light is perfect, only this world of form is deformed. So perfection is in the world of light. That's why the shaykhs operate.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below. The programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
From the abode of perfection in the world of light. They don't focus on the world of form. They don't try to guide people from the world of form. The shaykh's responsibility, and this is from this Haqiqatul Juzba, the Haqiqatul the Tajalli, Haqiqatul Juzba, Haqiqatul Faiz, all of those have to do with their movement to the world of light. As they were focusing their life on their connection into the world of light. But the external people, they focus on the world of form. They go to get their degrees, they go to make big conferences, everything is based on achieving a mass audience, mass this, mass that of dunya, and to be recognized in the dunya. But it's empty, it means nothing. The one whom secludes themselves, recognized by no one, but achieves the heavenly worldly light connection, has achieved everything, kulli shay. The Surah Yasin at the end is, glory be to the hand that achieved these realities is kulli shay. The ones who achieved from Rahim, the world of Malakut, Allah gave to them everything. Why? Because they went into the essence of everything, they achieved the reality of the Wow, they achieved the reality of the Hay, and they became Hu. And these are the real Hu men. They have hidayat and they carry the secret of Wow. As a result, they are in every atom, they operate within every atom. Now meditate and think how important that is. If you guide somebody from the physicality, means you'd sit and talk to them, talk to them, talk to them, their brain says, I don't care for what you have to say. But when these people operate, if they operate from the world of light, they merely send their light, into the essence and atoms of people. And their guidance is in the world of light, their guidance is inside the heart and inside their energy. It has nothing to do with their physicality. If the physicality comes at this time or comes at a later time, that's whatever Allah has written. But these guides of light and energy and realities, they operate within the atoms and the energy and the wujood of people. And this is the importance, this is the way of the powers of the heart. So you first have to make your connection and your connection to the people of Malakut. That's why you meditate. Otherwise how are you going to reach the world of light when you have no world of light around you? External scholars, they don't reach to the world of light. You can sit with them 10,000 years and you'll receive no world of light entry. They don't have it. What can they give you what they don't have? They didn't go for that. They went to speak to audiences with 10,000 people. They have nothing of the audience within the heavens. So when they sat with internal scholars, nobody around. But as soon as they connected into the heart, they entered into the heavenly kingdom in which all the souls were there and all the important personalities are there. Means Nabiyeen, Siddiqeen, Shuhada'i wa Saliheen, those who are with Allah. And in that world of light they made their connection, and as a result of that connection, that's magnetism. When you're connected to these arwah of these very big awliya, pious souls, holy companions, Ahlul Bayt, think of everything beatific and magnificent. As soon as you enter into their association and your light is connecting with them and you're becoming from one of them, what happens? Of course you have magnetism, because you be with whom you love. If you love the right people, so if you connect with those souls and you love them but they love you a more ancient love, their love for you has been cooling you. As a result, you become like a loaded ship filled with energies, and that becomes the fayaz, that it's your love from your soul that is a complete emanation upon you, the fayaz and dress upon you. And that becomes then those powers that we describe with fayaz and dress and emanations dressing, then they begin to meditate even more, and then the holy faces of that reality started to dress them. And their holy faces, all these different holy faces dress them, bless them by the different flavours and tajallis that Allah dresses upon them, because Allah says, your Lord is in a different tajalli at every moment. So as soon as these faces appear to them, begin to dress their ruhaniyat into their soul and to their realities. At every moment a different tajalli dressing upon their soul. And then the tawassul, where they can begin to make their du'as and appeal of what they need, their families need, communities need, and that becomes the real du'a in their presence. These are the du'as that are moving into that Divinely reality without intermediary and intercession. And then Haqiqatul Tay. Haqiqatul Tay, the one whom learned how to park their physicality and drop the physicality, Allah begins to free the servant from the confines of their physicality. The one whom able to meditate and contemplate, Allah begin to show how to imprison their physicality. As a result of looking their physicality and changing their gravity towards the heavens, their souls are very light. They have a very subtle soul, and as a result of the subtlety of their soul they can move. They can be anywhere at the speed of thought. If they think of Medina, they sit in the presence of Prophet. If they think of the ruhaniyat of Sayyidina Muhammad upon his Divinely throne, they sit in the presence of that ruhaniyat. And this is at the moment of the thought, at the speed of thought their soul is moving. They think of their shaykhs, they sit with the presence of their shaykhs. Because this soul now is moving, space and time has no grasp upon them, no hold upon them. And if Allah permits, we said now is the time of Dajjal, but they can appear anywhere in any form. It's not something difficult within Allah's azimat and majesty and majestic might. So they can bring their soul, one whom the difficulty in life was death, not all these other things. The difficulty was maut qabla al-maut, in which Allah granted their body to lock and to die and their spirituality to come out. As a result now the one whom their spirituality comes out becomes the hadith, become my hearing, become my seeing, become my speaking, become my touching, become my feet in which you move. And imagine then the immense power of that soul from haqiqatul tay, they move. And if Allah give a permission, either they can take this physicality and move it within a blink of an eye and be anywhere with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Then this became the understanding of these portals that you see in movies. Remember, shaitan has to create a portal through electrical and mechanical devices because he's not privy to this gift from Allah nor his creations or his minions. They don't have that gift from Allah, they have the knowledge of it, so they make a technology to develop that. But the one whom Allah has given knowledge from the kitab, then they're using izzatullah, izzat Rasul, izzat al-mu'mineen. And as a result this soul very powerful, its movement immensely fast. They can fight with the speed of their thought and the speed of light, the speed of their soul. They communicate at the speed of their soul. That's what we said before, the physicists are trying to understand that how are these ships and creatures moving faster than speed of light. If you say this galaxy's a million light years away, you say they came for a million years they've been travelling? No, so they must have found a way to move faster than that speed of light. Then what happened to their communication? By the time they send one message it's a million years before the message arrives. So our physics doesn't make sense in their world anymore. So it means our knowledge and every knowledge is good for the level of those people. It's not common. People think, oh the physics of this earth, this is the entire physics. No, this is nothing, this is but a drop in Allah's knowledges. Allah's knowledge is never limited. So what we know is only for this plane, this earth, this physicality. But these realities of the soul cannot be understood, and these are now the oceans of Tay in which they can move at the speed of their thought. They can move their entire body at the speed of their thought, or they can reproduce an image at the speed of their thought. So these are different authorities that Allah has to open upon the soul for the time in which it's necessary. The speed of lisan and haqiqatul lisan is important for those whom are trying to do their zikrs, their meditations and their tafakkur, in which Allah grant the speed of their zikr and the speed of their heart to be increasing, increasing. You see somebody who comes the first time and tries to do zikr and is doing their zikr at a very slow pace. As their himmah and strength is increasing, Allah is granting an opening within their zikrs, that their zikr gets to speed up. The process of their recitations through the spiritual realm is increasing, increasing in numbers and in speed, and this become important. But the realities of haqiqatul ta'i, whether through the lisan or through badan, through their being and their wujud, this has to do with the movement of the shaykh and the servants of Allah. That's why we say, ibadullah a'inuna. At the beginning of our salawat we have a phrase in which to call upon ibadullah. Why? Because these servants, Allah granted them the realities of ta'i, and as soon as we call upon the servants of Allah, they come with the speed of their soul, not the speed of thought. Doesn't even have to be brought to their physical attention. When the soul has been called into service and Allah has certified the individual, means their soul is now in service to Allah. As soon as these signals go out for ibadullah and for the madad and for whatever necessity the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad is in, their souls are moving at the speed of thought and faster for us to understand. So when we call upon these servants, when we have the ta'weezes from these servants, when we have their holy pictures within our homes, these are all of the haqiqatul ta'i. When you look into the face of awliyaullah, the real faces, not the animes but the face of awliya, you're cooling their souls. So when you have the faces within your home, their souls are ever present within the home. You just have to look at them when you're frightened and ask for their support, and that to come from what Allah has given to you, be present with me now. And in an instant their souls are present to see what's happening and what's partaking and taking place. These are the gifts from haqiqatul ta'i. The ta'weezes that they give to people, wear this. The only ones complaining are the shaitans, don't wear it, don't wear it. Why? Because they're going to get a beating from it. So you don't ask the one who gets beaten by it, you get the one whom is protected by it. And this all from haqiqatul ta'i, because these energies and this movement of these servants is beyond imagination, and the dalil is in Qur'an. So if Bani Israel had a drop of power, the ocean is owned by Sayyidina Muhammad. If you think Sayyidina Sulaiman had power and the one of his servants who had their kitab's knowledge, you could call that a drop. And the owner of the ocean is Sayyidina Muhammad. His servants Sayyidina Muhammad, they're the servants of Qur'an al-Majid. So their power not anything comparable, but because of the humility and the humbleness of Prophet it was not spoken about. But so it is given as a dalil, they can bring whatever is required and whatever is requested by their Prophet. If Prophet send them to be somewhere, to do something, they have izzatullah, izzat Rasul wa izzat mu'mineen, they have the power of Holy Qur'an, in which is the reality and the speech and Divinely speech of Allah, which contains all holy books. So this is just a drop in that reality. And from the haqiqatul ta'i, because they have to be able to move and be ever present and everywhere, then opens up haqiqatul irshad, that you cannot be dressed by sifatul Rashid, be given irshad and guidance if Allah has not granted these realities. So how could Allah grant a servant to be Rashid and to be guided if He didn't open up these other 5 powers that are essential for guidance? If they don't know that, they're not from that. So these are the like 5-star general is not the same as an officer in the army or sergeant in the army. He's got 5 stars, he's got ranks. what He did for each star and what Allah has granted for those stars, just not something comprehensible. But to understand that when Allah wants to say, now you're given irshad from our Divinely Presence, you're from Rashideen, Mahdieen and inshaAllah Kamileen, means they are the Muhammadan Mahdi representatives, the Rashideen that Allah granted them for irshad and Sifat al-Rashid, the one whom is guided, and Kamileen that their kamil love for Sayyidina Muhammad is dressing and perfecting. So as a result of irshad and guidance means they have their connection, they have immense magnetism into that diwan, right? So they're associated with that diwan, they with whom they love and whom they love is always with them. It's essential for a guide who's going to be guiding people. As a result of that diwan and that love, they have an immense amount of emanation in which they can send anywhere in the world and for any reason that's necessary. And with all of that we described before, then they have the haqqaiq of the tawajjuh, the connection to those holy faces like satellites. Satellite towers, when they're connecting from face to face and the faiz and energies that are coming, the tawassul in which to convey the du'as to whom they need to convey, and then the reality of time in which their souls are moving and energies are moving and present and moving wherever Allah wants them to move. Then the completion is Allah grants haqiqatul irshad and guidance, that these are the servants who are Rashideen, and now we call them Mahdieen and Kamileen, in which they are moving towards the oceans of kamil and perfection. And the example of Kamileen is that they have the hearing from the love of Prophet, the seeing from the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, they have the speech from the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, the breath from the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. That's what makes it kamil, that they're taking the Muhammadan dress. That's why we call them Muhammadiyun. And they have from the hands and the touch of Sayyidina Muhammad and the qadam and movement. They move according to the desire and the movement of Sayyidina Muhammad. InshaAllah. Hurmat Muhammad al-Mustafa wa basir Surat al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillah, opened up a sohbat within the question. Which is good. They can use that for their enemies. MashaAllah, these guys are grabbing all the talks of making wonderful either short videos and images.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Does Haqiqatul Juzba still require the tawassul of Sayyidina Muhammad and awliyaullah? I heard you said no tawassul. I must have misheard or misunderstood.
The Juzba, you have to make the connection to the shaykhs and to have the magnetism. So you have to go back to where in the talk and what talk and write the notes, you have to take notes. So we just gave the whole order of everything, that you have to make the connection. From the connection these energies have to dress you for emanation. The connection is to the shaykh. Yeah, when if you say, I'm going straight to Sayyidina Muhammad, no, that's the imagination, because where is he for the person who imaginates? That's when you get the people who say they talk to Jesus. All the crazy people who come to us, they come quietly and say, Shaykh, I talk to Jesus. I say, get out of here, and we throw them out. Because he's the most impersonated, that's what we call anti-Christ, the most impersonated Prophet. It's not the system. 30 years of struggling this, the Prophets don't talk to people. They inspire, they look at you, maybe inspire you to go to get a guide, and when you have a guide then you make your connection to the guide. If that system was not in place and these holy souls want to talk to everybody, there would be no need to seek out guides, because everyone would say, I don't need a guide. And then that same system would have been in place for Prophet. Out of humility he brought for us that, I'm dealing with Sayyidina Jibreel. He didn't need to deal with Sayyidina Jibreel, could have been directly from Allah. But for us is a path of humility so that we build good manners. People can have dreams of Prophet isharat and guidance of Sayyidina Muhammad, but no guide, no shaykh, no somebody to teach them and say, no, I'm sitting and I'm getting all my guidance and I don't need any of you. It's not the system, so we would deny that and say that's not appropriate, not to be condoned, because we see the insanity on the other side. We saw the people who come and say that they're seeing all these holy souls but they have no training, they have no manners, they have lots of anger. So that's when shaitan is playing with people, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, can you please convey more for us the reality of 7007 of Sayyidina Naqshbandi and the reality of being the hoot for Sayyidina Yunus?
That's completely unrelated, Shaykh. Go to AI, inshaAllah. We have to stay on topic, otherwise we go left and right. Magnetism, juzba, tawassul, tawajjuh. Not the hooty bird. No problem for the question, but Mr. AI will do better job of summation. He summarized the whole thing. Some of the answers coming up very nice from the AI. MashaAllah, is that Haris back there? Deep muraqabah. Who's back there? Deep muraqabah. Haji Bilal, is that Haris? Yeah, MashaAllah, deep muraqabah, look. Fana.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, can we also understand fana fi Rasul and fana fillah within the fana fi Shaykh? Is this also…
We have to ask the Haris, he's looking deep fana.
Is this also related to the 6 powers of the heart?
Yeah, you close your eyes and start snoring. You go into deep fana, lost on the other side. InshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon, wa salaamun al mursaleen, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ila sharaf Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam alayhi sahbihi kiram wa ala mashaykhina fi tariqatina Naqshbandiyatul aliyya wa sayyiru sadatina siddiqeen. Al-Fatiha.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. InshaAllah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below. The programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.